Welcome to the Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. What up? Welcome to the Waiver Wire, where fantasy players become fantasy legends.
Or fantasy losers.
Yes,
one
like
of the two.
I was a fantasy loser this week. I lost all 3 games. It's a very sad day. It's a very disheartening day to be watching fucking football.
I'm glad you lost in our league.
Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, in your league, I don't want to be number 1. I don't want to sit at the top. I don't want to be like undefeated or 6-1 or 7-1. I like that I got a couple of losses. Makes you stronger. It also makes it to where whenever you get into the playoffs, you don't go into it with this like I'm supposed to win. Like I've had losses, so I can be beat, but in the playoffs, I'm gonna take it.
I won, and that's because I'm awesome. Now I'm 4-4.
It was Halloween. You know what's funny is that I got candy, and I was like, okay, just in case like people come over. But I think the dog scared everybody away because I was looking out the window.
He's like, "Come get my candy."
And there were people walking around with their kids, but nobody came to our door. Yeah, I don't know. I really think it's the dogs. I think they were just like,
nah, fuck that house.
Nah, I'm not gonna go up to that. That seems crazy because it is crazy. But yeah, it was a Halloween last night.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Belated.
We had a good week of football that we're gonna get into. We're gonna get into a little bit of baseball, but one of the big things that came out, actually, I think it came out right after the game, right? Or the day after the game. I think it was. It was the day after the game. It was the Friday after the game where Tom Brady actually put out on his Instagram that him and Giselle are finalizing their divorce and that it is that he is asking for privacy and blah, blah, blah. And he said all those normal things. But I was like, damn. Like, I kind of thought these were just rumors.
Really?
I mean... You never really know, like this is all kind of like
I suppose not till it's actually
real like this.
Finalized.
Yeah, but when he put it out like that, and that's crazy. Now, is this because he went back to play football?
I mean, maybe it was the last straw.
There had to be other things,
but yeah, you don't get divorced.
Over that. Yeah,
because that's only another year, right? I mean, like.
Yeah,
maybe 2 with them. I mean,
maybe he had made promises, and I like to think that was a big fight out of this. Was that he had said like, look, this is it. Like after they won the Super Bowl, he's like, let me go play again. She's like, okay, but this is it, and he's like, yeah, this is it, the last one. And then he was like, yep, that's it. You're right, I retired. And then he sat at home for a second. He was like, hey, I'm gonna go back and play because I just like this sitting around shit. Like I'm better than a lot of these fucking quarterbacks that are still out there. And then I don't know. I know it was a fight. I don't know if it was the fight. I don't know if it was the straw that broke the camel's back. But I know it was a fight. I mean, obviously, it seems like there wasn't happiness about maybe that or other things that were going on. But
there just has to be more going on. There's more to it than we know.
But it definitely
obviously
tells
it's a fucking relationship. I mean, come on.
It tells a lot about what we've been thinking, though.
He looks sad. He still looks fucking sad.
His demeanor on the field is different. He looks kind of gaunt. He looks kind of, looks kind of skinny in the face, and it looks like he's not taking care of himself, and it looks like he's not,
Maybe he's not eating.
One of the things about him that was so consistent was his home life and his training as far as studying film and preparing was second to none. You couldn't compare anybody else to him because
are you saying he's not spending as much time studying film and all that stuff right now?
Distraction. I think
he's also 45 and has like a whole family and life and kids and he's doing other things other than football, and now he's getting divorced, and now he's got to buy a different house, and now he's got to figure out custody, and
it's a lot.
You're sad because you're losing your wife of like shit. How long have they been
13
married?
years.
13 years. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
And I'll tell you what, there's something to be said because I literally just went through this about making vows and then breaking them, right? Yeah. Especially something like that. Like it's a big thing, and it ain't just as simple as we got divorced. Like you're literally ripping pulling yourselves apart from each other,
Right?
Because you have this fucking bond, and there'll always be they'll always have the kids, and there'll always be a bond, but it's hard, and it takes a minute.
In relationships too, when you make that decision to break up, you both kind of lie, where you both kind of say like, whatever, I'm good with this. Like, this is what I wanted. You say all that stuff where you kind of go through that denial of just like, none of this phases me. I'm cool to move on to the next part of my life. But you definitely go through that grieving process of just kind of like, that person's not around, especially if you live with them, if you have these long relationships, long, emotional ties.
Well, thankfully, for me, we still, at least me and Ashley are cool still. I mean, we still hang out.
And I mean, because of the kids, you have to learn how to be cool with each other. Right. You have to, and that's the same thing that he's going through here. Maybe this relationship really did deteriorate, and so that's breaking his heart, because it's like, man, I this girl that I have loved for so long, I don't know if I do love her anymore. But also at the same time, we have 2 kids together, and I have to be cool with this woman because we are still going to be raising these kids together.
And it takes some time. It's going to take time.
Yeah.
But
the Tom Brady hour had to start off on a very sad note, because man, I when I read that, I was like, oh man, this is not good news, because this means he's going through a lot. Now, on the flip side of this, Tom Brady's story is usually very movie-esque, so if this is what comes out, and then after this they go on a run, would you be surprised if he uses this as motivation to play better? He also said on his podcast on Monday, one of the things that he said on his podcast that he does, where they talked about it, and he said, I think in anything you have to get lost in something, and so right now where I'm at in my life, I need to get lost in football. So I got to focus on my kids whenever I'm at home, but I also got to focus on being a professional and winning some football games. Okay. I'm just saying.
His offensive line better get better.
Yeah, better transform into somebody
better learn
else.
How to run the ball better.
Man, they can't run they are very dead last in running the ball.
Yeah.
Dead last.
I don't know. There's some problems. I don't think the problems in Tampa Bay are necessarily Tom Brady. Everything just gets...
Whoa. But we're going to get to it, because first we got to talk about these Astros. But I just wanted to tell you, Tom, I love you, and we will always be here for you here at the Tom Brady Hour, and you're going to win a Super Bowl this year. Move on!
First down.
I read this, and I wanted to be mad, but I'm still Go Stros. We're all in. World Series Game 3 tonight, hopefully, unless there's fucking rain. Hey,
is it supposed to rain?
It's 20. Well, I mean, it rained last night or whatever. It's 2022. Build a stadium with the fucking roof. I'm sorry. Do you play baseball in the rain? Oh, you don't? Well, because it rains. So why would you ever build a fucking stadium where something could happen and it would stop the game that you're playing? In football, if it rains, they just keep playing. So I halfway understand them leaving it open sometimes, because they just want to play outside in the sun. You guys don't want to play in the sun. You Nancy boys with your little sticks that can be struck by lightning. God damn it. I used to really hate on football and the whole.
What if they did play baseball in the rain?
Awesome.
That would be. Oh, God.
That'd be dope. You got to
be terrible.
Just play. Yeah. Yeah. No.
You couldn't even throw a fucking strike.
It'd be low scoring. It would be low scoring.
Well, you'd be walking everybody.
You'd be walking a lot of runs in. You wouldn't be able to
It'd be a lot harder
very well.
to throw a strike.
It'd be a lot harder to hit. Imagine trying to connect on a weird ball that you can't see in the rain. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to have
Buffalo. Oh yeah.
Anyways.
Anyhow.
Game
one. We haven't talked about.
We haven't talked about the World Series at all. World Series Game 1 was Friday, and fucking.
Talk about a fucking roller coaster of emotions and shit.
Well, Kyle Tucker came out fucking swanging and just hitting home runs and carrying us on his back.
Yep.
And
everybody else fucking shit the bed.
Verlander got through the lineup the first go around. Okay,
looked great.
And then
the second time through,
he just can't. World Series Verlander is terrible. It's terrible. Yeah. He's 0 for 6. He's had 8 appearances.
So what's that mean? He's got that butthole pucker thing.
He's got the butthole pucker.
He's a butthole
when
pucker.
He gets into heavy, intense situations, he does not play it cool. He is not a Cy Young pitching, talent. He's just. I don't want to see him again. I'll tell you that much. I don't want to see him again. We have enough fucking pitchers.
Okay, well, we might if we win the next 3 games, we won't.
Well, yeah, well, fair, but
he won't pitch again until 6.
So Lance McCullers pitches tonight, and then let's say Christian Javier or Jose Urquidy, who we haven't even fucking seen yet, go for game 5. Do you not feel better in a clinching game to go all bullpen? Because our bullpen's great.
Yeah,
I would rather see
why
Luis
not
Garcia.
just how about throw Justin Lander? Let him throw. Let him face the lineup one time. Like let him get through the lineup once.
But Dusty didn't do that.
That's
He
what I'm saying,
left
but
him out
then
there and just
take
let
him
it
out.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. He at least there's no way we don't see him
I
again.
say-
there's no fucking way because he's gonna want to let him redeem himself.
he can go. You can go. Thank you for everything that you did. Enjoy your Cy Young. You don't want another fucking. You don't want to re-sign with us. That's fine. We are loaded up with pitchers. We'll find somebody else. People will want to come play here because we win championships.
I don't think we want Verlander back, anyways. Do we?
He's 39. He's gonna
done.
win the Cy Young. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he wants to come back.
If it's his turn to pitch, you're putting him out.
Fuck that, man. He fucking folds every World Series.
You're still gonna do it.
He's
You still gotta
0-6.
put your best guy out there.
He has the worst ERA of any pitcher with a minimum of 30 starts in the World Series. Or 30 starts in the playoffs. That's
But you know that Dusty will put him out there.
Well, if that's the case, then I agree with you that it needs to be. I think the minute you see trouble, the minute that he lets a run score,
absolutely. The minute he walks
He's out.
somebody, and
he's
like
out.
puts
Get him the
someone
fuck
on
out
the
of
base.
here.
Yeah.
We got Hunter Brown. We got
Yeah.
Luis Garcia. We got all the Brian Abreu and
have
Montanaro both
Garcia
pitching really well.
warming up.
Yeah, I would rather go all bullpen.
Right after he faces 9, and then the next time through the order, put Garcia in, let him pitch through the order once, and then
Maybe.
get to the late bullpen. I don't know, but Fromber's a badass.
I fucking love Fromber.
Everybody's saying he's cheating. Have you seen that? How many? I've seen several things that he keeps touching himself and
Oh my
and
god!
that he wiped
Oh my
something off of his hand when he
Oh my
left the mound,
God.
and are they just reaching now?
Yeah. They just want anything they can get. They want anything they get.
And then apparently,
we're not a good team.
well,
Are we
no,
not
and
a good
apparently
team?
the Maldonado used Pujols' a bat that Albert Pujols gave him. But it's an illegal bat now. You're not allowed to use it. But you are allowed to use it if you played in the league when it was legal to use. So it's not illegal for Pujols to use it, but it is illegal for Maldonado
And what
to
did
use
Maldonado do with it? Did he get a hit?
I think he did in that game, didn't he?
Oh, okay.
In game 1.
All right. Well,
Didn't he drive in a run in game 1?
He did. Yeah. So he cheated. He cheated with it. Get
Or
the
no,
fuck
that was
outta
game
here.
2.
Get the fuck out
That
of
was
here.
game 2 he drove in a run.
I don't know.
Wasn't it?
Either way, I
can't
feel
remember.
good about what's coming up next
Oh,
because
no, it was game 1 because it was the Tucker game. He was the only other one that had an RBI.
Nola and Wheeler are their best pitchers.
Yep.
After this, Noah Syndergaard has not been the Noah Syndergaard of the Los Angeles Angels. He is definitely hittable.
He doesn't have the same velocity.
No, and I think that we get after him early tonight. Now, McCullers
We scored 5 runs against Wheeler and Nola.
Yeah, we did. 5 should have been enough for fucking Verlander for the current.
Did you know
Cy
what his
Young
record
winner.
was? When he had 5-run leads,
Probably a lot. to a
something
little.
and 0.
Yeah.
A lot to 0. It was the first time he blew a 5-run lead.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Shit.
It was just so heartbreaking. It was like
That's all right.
dude.
We're gonna get these motherfuckers.
But-
They got one game.
Game two. I like
Fuck
it because
them guys.
well, first of all, Jose Altuve,
Starting to hit.
he's starting to hit. Jeremy Pena has actually not done as well in these
need
first two
Yordan
World
going.
Series, but we need to get Jordan going.
Yeah.
And that hasn't happened, and Jordan cannot disappear again in this World Series. We need him, need him.
Come on, Jordan.
But
No
that-
butthole pucker.
The opening of Game 2 was amazing. The fact that we went double was like, woo, okay, let's go.
And then we kept it going.
Yeah.
The starts to each game have been amazing.
Yes. And if Kyle Tucker behaves like that, where he's hitting multiple game home runs, if we can get Chas McCormick to get on base, I'll tell you the only disappointing part of our lineup has been our DH. Our Aldamis Diaz and Trey Mancini are just
can't do shit. That's why it was
no shows.
Well, no, Jordan was the DH in the second game because Diaz played.
I guess I meant that 7.
Diaz played left field, but still, Jordan didn't do shit either.
And I know Dusty's trying to do that to just kind of give Jordan a mental break and say, "Look, you don't have to go out in the field.
But that's what I think is better. Hitting." Isn't Diaz a better left fielder than Jordan?
But Jordan has said that he likes playing in the field because it keeps him active
involved
and
in
it
the
keeps
game.
his body fresher, so that when he goes up to bat, he feels like he gets better at bats. I'm not going to discount what this guy says. He's a great hitter. If that's what he feels, that's what he feels. But I think Dusty did that because Jordan has been in a bit of a slump. So it's
how much do we wish Brantley was here?
Oh my God! Holy shit, we'd be fucking murdering. We already are going to murder. I feel good about these next 2 games. Games 3 and 4. They're pitching. I don't even know who they have as their 4th pitcher.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Ranger Suarez, which I saw that guy. Yeah, I didn't want to mention it, but I definitely took care of the fucking Philadelphia Phillies at my restaurant, and I won't go into too much detail, but they were very cocky. They were very cocky, and they were ready.
They're a confident bunch, huh?
And they are a confident bunch, and they should be. They're a good team, and they played well. But
there's the same feeling like the Braves and the Nationals were both underdogs. They were both cocky,
feisty,
and came back. Both had good second half runs, I believe. Actually, they did both have really good second halves, and same recipe with the Phillies. So I don't want to get overconfident.
No, but
come on, man, we gotta win.
The Stros, though, we are such a good team, and it would really be a bummer if this complete team that's had such a good year can't finish this off.
Yeah.
So
let's go Stros.
Tonight's a big game. Tonight's a big game. Go Stros.
Hell yeah.
Go Stros.
Second down.
All right, so second down. This is where we were about to go into it. He was opening the door.
Yeah,
he was opening the door. He was like, "Let's talk
about football." But Tampa Bay was actually the first
game. We
game.
had to get some World Series going. Of course, it was the most disappointing Thursday night of ever. I've got the Philadelphia Phillies talking shit in my face as I'm pouring them wine. Dumb bitches drinking wine and shit before the game. Whatever. And I was watching on the screen my Tom Brady. I'm going to lose LeBron James this year is fucking terrible. The Lakers are fucking terrible. I can't lose LeBron James and Tom Brady in the same year. It's too much. It's too hard.
Wouldn't it be better just to get it all out of the way one time?
Maybe you're right, but it's very painful.
You just need to start really clinging to Joe Burrow. And who's your replacement for LeBron?
I don't really have one yet. I'm trying to ride more local, so I definitely am trying to. I love Jalen Green. I think that the Rockets.
Jabari Smith's pretty good.
He's struggling. He struggled last night.
I haven't watched any of the games, but
no, he's struggling. He's shooting too many threes for me. And I know that's the new NBA, but I would rather him. He's a big guy. I would rather him kind of learn a post game a little bit.
Isn't number 1 pick next year a very similar style player?
No, he's crazy. Is that the Nwambabwe?
Yeah, but he's tall and
he's 7'3".
Oh shit!
And he can shoot.
Yeah,
and he can run. And he looks like lanky, like Kevin Durant, but with ball
bigger,
skills.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. He's gonna definitely be the next big thing.
So what if you had both of them?
I like Ja.
Yeah,
I think I might be riding down the Ja train. Yeah. Although his game is tough though because he
feel like Derrick Rose. Almost.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose, where they're so explosive that there's going to be injuries, and then if their shot goes, they might also not be as far as a complete player. The best player in the NBA is Giannis. He's the best player in the NBA.
He's got since he's developed that shot.
Yeah, I mean now that he can shoot a little bit better, but as far as on both sides of the floor, he's going to come down and fucking be your best defender. And he goes down the other side and he gives you almost the same thing that Bron gives you, where he's getting rebounds. And now he can see the court a little bit better. He's even getting the people around him involved. I think he's the best player in the league. I don't think Kevin Durant is. I mean, you look at the Nets; they can't figure their shit out. And I have definitely players in the NBA that I rock with, but not. Okay, I know people want to hate on LeBron, but now that we're getting towards the end of his career, you have to appreciate what the guy's done.
Sure.
I mean, as far as his numbers go and what he played against a whole different generation, and now he's playing against these kids now. And I don't think he's the problem with the Lakers. I think he's a problem with the Lakers, but I think that I think they've got a lot of other issues.
The Lakers should just trade him.
For him, that would be the best.
It would probably be the best for them too. Get some picks, go young. It's not like he's gonna fucking stay anyways, and they suck.
Yeah, they do. But back to basketball, because we saw not only in the LeBron James version. Well, I was just talking about how I'm losing. Losing LeBron James and I'm losing Tom Brady as well. But Tom Brady, they gave it a good effort in this game. They played hard. Baltimore just kind of edged them at the right time, and Tampa Bay looked bad. Well, they came out and they scored right away, which was good. They got up 10-3. And then their defense just can't stop the run. They just can't stop the run. And almost their entire secondary was out. So they kind of had their way. I mean, Mark Andrews goes out in the beginning of the game. I was like, oh, well, that's good. Then Gus Edwards goes out. I'm like, oh, well, that's good. I mean, this is all helping my guy. And they let Kenyon Drake and Devin Duvernay. Also, I had both of them on my bench. Which would have really helped. I don't know if Tampa Bay has enough. And now they lost Shaq Barrett for the whole year. He went out with a torn Achilles. I don't know if they have enough. I would love the story be that everyone counted him out and he got divorced and he went and he sat in a dark room and he jerked off to some film and he didn't care about pussy for the next 3 months and he just wanted to win another chip and he went and he got it done. But I just don't know if that's what's gonna happen. I think pussy is gonna happen for him though. I don't know if my wife would like to hear this, but I mean he's not gonna have a hard time finding pussy, Tom Brady.
I doubt it.
I doubt it very much. But yeah, Baltimore lost this game. Baltimore was a 1.5 point favorite, and they won this game 27-22.
I was going to go back and look and see who I picked, but I'm sure I picked Baltimore.
You probably did. Yeah, because it was a wild thing for me to go with Tampa Bay, and I'm gonna continue. As you see, I'm not quitting you, Tom. I never will. But Baltimore also trading for Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
That's.
I don't know.
Roquan Smith is the real deal.
It definitely helps their defense, which has been not very good.
Right, their defense has not been good, and so that Roquan Smith trade kind of made me go, now if they all of a sudden can play defense at a high level, they still got Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey on the back end. Baltimore might be moving up into that, especially with the way that Cincinnati played last night. I have to pause. I have to take my foot off the gas on the Cincinnati, and I have to just kind of idle.
Take foot off Cincinnati, but still, does that make Baltimore as good as the Bills or the Chiefs?
No, it doesn't. But and you'll see where I have them in my power rankings coming up. But I think that Tampa Bay had a shot in this game. But some of the plays, if you watch that Tampa Bay game where he hit that fucking tight end and that 2-point conversion, he hit him in the fucking hands, and then they got called for defensive pass interference, so they got to do it again, and then they did a false start, so then they had to back up, and then he couldn't get the 2-point conversion after that. It was like, man, like Tom Brady threw the ball down in disgust, but it was like. And also, Tom is kind of forcing it at this point. He really only has eyes for Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and the defense knows it.
Julio was back.
Yeah, and he went to him. He went to him in the red zone, and they got that touchdown. But that was it. I mean, he had 2 catches for the game. He didn't have very many targets either. So
Anything's possible.
He's
but
missing.
I doubt
He's
it.
missing some weapons.
Yeah, they just don't.
He's missing some offensive line because the interior of their offensive line is terrible, and he can't. I mean, he did a running play at one point where he ran for his life, and it was just he was so slow. It was like, oh man, he's 45 years old. He can't run. He can't move out of the pocket, and if the pocket's not there, he's gonna have a hard time. So, and they can't run the football. That's what we were talking about a little bit too. Is that they are dead last in running the football. Haven't got Leonard Fournette going at all, and maybe that's offensive line.
I don't think it's Fournette. I'm telling you, it's the offensive line.
And that's
because Fournette looks, I don't know, at least from the eyeball test, he seems to be moving fine.
But if the minute you get the ball, you've got a defensive lineman in your face, then that's a bad sign. So bad sign for Tampa Bay. Atlanta won as well, so they are ahead. And Tampa Bay is now second place in that division. I still think they turned it around and they end up winning the division. I think it's with a bad record, just because I still can't fully believe in Atlanta. I don't know why, but I just can't. But yeah, bad signs for Tampa Bay. Bad signs for my guy who's going through it. He's going through it right now. Tennessee at Houston. Well, first off, in the early morning in London, Denver actually nutted up and they played pretty well. And
they showed signs of life in the second half.
They did. But Jacksonville also, that was a terrible interception by Trevor Lawrence at the end of that game. That interception.
That was a fucking badass interception by the Denver player.
But the Denver player,
when he jumped straight up and because literally he was like 5 yards away. I mean, how hard is it to catch that fucking football?
Yeah, the Denver player made a play, but I also feel like just the throw to me was bad.
I'm not saying the throw was bad, but that had to have been a hard ball.
No, yeah.
It was coming so fast. I mean, like, he was about as far away from him as you and I are.
That's true.
That's true. And he kind of like jumped up out of nowhere.
Well, Denver's defense is legit. Denver's defense is really good.
They trade Chubb today, but
yeah. Where did they?
Not yet, but that's apparently they've been offered a package which includes a first round draft pick.
Oh, okay.
I don't know from whom, but apparently there's several teams interested in Chubb, and Denver's either going to trade him or sign him to a long term deal. But Denver did look better.
Yeah, Denver looked better.
Cortland fucking Sutton dropped like a sure touchdown pass.
Yeah, I saw that.
Come on, man.
Denver though, is it Denver looked better or that Jacksonville just really isn't that good? I don't know. It might be a mixture of both. It might be that they both happened at the same time. But Jacksonville was a 3-point favorite. And I went with them, and I was wrong. Oh, I was wrong on the Thursday night game as well. Shocker. But I was wrong on this Jacksonville. I thought Jacksonville would win just because Denver hasn't looked very good. But Jacksonville lost 21-17. But going to locally here, Tennessee at Houston, a lot more losing. That's what I want to see. That way to go, boys. Go ahead and lose all these games for me and get me that number one pick, so that we can be the the writers of our own destiny. But yeah, Houston's just not very good, and I mean they can't stop the run.
Nah.
So if
he had 200 and something yards, against us
and we saw
how many times was that happen?
One of the first plays of the game, he kind of broke out into a big run. I was like, this is going to be a bad day.
Just goes off.
And was Tannehill hurt or?
He is hurt.
Okay.
That's why
I was
Malik
like, why
Willis
is Malik Willis out there? I don't really know, but he didn't look very good. I'll be honest. I know that he's more of like
he's a project.
Yeah, it's a project where it's that he can scramble and run like Lamar Jackson, but he just he really can't throw the ball. His throw looked terrible. It looked like he was not an NFL quarterback. So sorry, Tennessee, but I don't think he's going to be the answer. But yeah, they didn't win the game 17-10. They were a 1.5 point favorite, and I got that right. Carolina at Atlanta. Man, this was a crazy game. Did you see this one?
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw a lot of the highlights.
Did you see
because
the ending?
The DJ Moore, because of that last play.
Now, why is that a penalty?
I don't fucking know.
Why is that a penalty? This is the only sport where they wear a helmet. He caught a game-winning touchdown with two men draped all over him. An incredible catch. It was, a 65-yard pass?
Yeah.
I mean,
incredible throw
to win the game. Are you telling
to tie
me,
it and then the chance to win it with the extra point.
He thought. Also, by the way, make the fucking extra point. I know it was like 40-something yards.
It ended up being 48 yards.
So, I don't give a fuck.
He also missed a 30-something
This is your fucking job. This is all you fucking do. Ugh. Anyways, but I just don't understand throwing a flag on him.
Well, here's the other thing.
He's excited. How's he not excited?
The rule says you can't take your helmet off in the field of play. And he was out of the back of the end zone when he took his helmet off. So he wasn't even on the fucking field of play. I don't know.
Football.
It does seem like a stupid
Football
thing.
is, in the most part, I think, one of the best sports at evolving rules because they go with the times, right? Where they're like, oh, this concussion thing and having Aaron Rodgers getting hurt on a Monday Night Football, that's not good for the brand. So let's protect the quarterbacks. Like, they kind of more so that, I mean, baseball, it's taken forever for baseball to come around.
Shit, they did it. They changed the rule, like, mid-season after Tua got hurt this year.
That's what I'm saying. Football is the most. This has got to be something that they've got to look at and go, this is kind of an archaic rule. Like, come on, like.
But
this is the only sport
why was it there in the first place? Like, why don't they want them taking their helmets off in the field?
Well, the woke Democrats of the world would tell you that it was a racist thing that they didn't want these black players to get recognition and to be famous like that because then you can see their face, and they thought that was one of the problems in the NBA was that these NBA players were so famous because you saw their face all the time.
When was this rule put in play?
I don't know. I just and I know that I've heard that before, which is the only reason I brought that up. I think I heard players bring that up before, that's why they don't want us taking our helmets off, which I turned it on the woke Democrats. Who knows? But I don't know when the rule came into play. I just hate the rule. I hate that it happened. I was like, wait a minute. Why is he getting a flag? Did you not see what? I thought he got the flag because he jumped up into the stands and like got in the face of this Atlanta Falcons fan. It was like basically like, fuck you. And I thought, okay, that's what he got the flag for. But then when I'm finding out it was the helmet, I was like, who fucking cares if he took his helmet off? Who fucking cares? What if it had gotten knocked off? That's what I asked. What if in the act of catching the ball and falling to the ground, both guys draped on him, his helmet gets knocked off and he stands up and he's celebrating? Is that breaking the rules?
Oh, no.
Okay. So get the fuck out of here with this shit. The helmet's come off. He took his helmet off because he wanted you to see his face, because he wanted y'all to realize I'm a bad motherfucker. And he was a bad motherfucker. He definitely, that last play was incredible. I don't know. That really bothered me about the game. But Atlanta, give credit to Atlanta.
So, I mean, also, I think Atlanta deserved to win the game, I suppose. But
yeah,
but hell, I got 3. So I was a fantasy genius this week. I had picked up Michael Carter, and then I was like, nah, I don't want Michael Carter. They're playing the Patriots. This is probably when I decided that I thought the Patriots would do better against the Jets. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna go get Deontay Foreman. Because Chuba Hubbard is fucking not playing. Genius. I like him better than fucking Carter.
I think he was the 7th best. He was the 7th best.
And he scored like 20-something points more than Carter. And I won by 17. So if I'd have kept Carter, I'd have lost.
Fantasy genius. That's why.
That's why you listen to this show, boys and girls.
Yeah, Deontay Foreman is also somebody that you might want to hold on to, because that seems like it's going to be.
Chuba Hubbard's supposed to come back, but they seem to be giving it to him.
Yeah, they like homeboy.
I need running back, so I'm definitely hanging on to him. Yeah. Shit.
But I took Atlanta in this. I am not a big believer in Carolina, so I thought that Atlanta could cover the 5 points, but they did not.
Carolina's playing better. I mean,
yeah, and
they don't got nothing to lose.
Atlanta's leading that division now, so I gotta change my tune a little bit and start believing in Marcus Mariota.
Grinding shit out,
no Cordell Patterson. You know,
he should be coming back soon, right? Maybe like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. Chicago at Dallas. Woo, boy. Dallas was an 8-point favorite. I didn't know the spread when I did it, but I took Dallas anyways. I was, 29 minus 49, or 49 minus 29. I think that's more than 8. I think it's more than 8. Man, Dallas
looked good.
Dallas's defense is 4 fucking real.
They need to learn how to stop the run, though.
Yeah, they can't stop the run. And Chicago definitely.
Chicago scored 29 points against them.
Yeah.
I was more impressed with Dallas's offense than I was their defense today.
Yep. Yeah, Dak looked
except
good.
for Michael Parsons.
Dak had a connection with CeeDee Lamb finally.
Schultz, he threw to Schultz,
he threw to
quite
Schultz
a bit.
more, and
Pollard went off.
Pollard
without
man.
fucking Zeke there.
Tony
So that's
Pollard.
what everybody's talking about this week.
How do you not like Tony Pollard more than Zeke? Zeke is old and washed up. This is the future. Run Tony Pollard. You want to win?
At least
run
run him
Tony
more.
Pollard.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm. Jerry Jones came out and said that we go as far as Zeke goes, and he's our running back.
Yeah,
and blah,
whatever.
Blah,
All
blah.
right, well,
But I don't see how you can watch that game and not be getting Tony Pollard at least 15 touches. Did you know that Dallas is 8-0 when Tony Pollard touches the ball 15 times or more?
oh wow, okay.
That should be all you need to know.
That's all you need to know right there. Fucking get Tony Pollard the fucking ball. I like Tony Pollard. I think he's quick. He's got explosive home run speed.
Zeke don't give you that.
No.
The one thing I mean, like, yeah, you probably want him in there to grind it out, to take some touches. Zeke should be getting the ball about 10 times a game, and then Pollard should be getting it about 15 to 20.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Dallas definitely climbing the rankings there. I've got them pretty high on my power rankings, which we'll talk about in the next down. But
They looked good.
They look good.
Fields looks better.
Yeah, Justin Fields and the Bears are going the right way. It's weird trading Roquan Smith away. I know there was a disagreement about contracts and stuff like that, but
Well, he's on his last. It's on his last year.
He wanted a big contract, but I think that the Bears are on the right trajectory, but it's not going to happen this year. But Justin Fields has played better.
Well, it seems
Can
like
he
they
throw
just
the ball?
Right. We've talked about this in the last few weeks, though, is that they've kind of changed their offense and they've started giving him they've started setting. They put in more running plays, designed running plays for him.
Yeah,
and it has helped their offense. It has helped his fantasy value.
Sure.
I mean, shit, he scored. I think like 20-something points in the last couple games.
Looked, it was like 26 and then 24 the week before.
And this one was against Dallas.
Yeah. So be even better against some of these other shit.
That means that
he gets to play Detroit twice. Okay,
right.
so
I'm saying if you need a quarterback, I'd go. He'd be the first one I want to go get right now.
Yep,
I know he's out there in the 8-team league.
Yep.
But so's fucking Geno Smith. We just looked too. So two of these two shittier, worst teams in our league. That have this struggling quarterback problem.
They should.
I'm saying, I mean, Luke's team looks really good, but man, you need to bench Jonathan Taylor at this point. In this fucking league, dude ain't doing shit.
Also, I mean, I guess the fear is that you start Justin Fields over Jonathan Taylor, and then it's one of those weeks where he just goes the fuck off, and Justin Fields looks bad. But I agree with you where the two quarterback is the way I'm gonna ride or die with it.
And I just don't understand not starting a second quarterback. I just don't get it.
I mean, like this week, I had Garrett Wilson on my bench, and he got over 20 points.
Yep.
And I had, or no, maybe he didn't. Maybe he got.
He had a good game.
Either way, it would have been close of Joe Burrow and Garrett Wilson scoring almost equal points. Now, how would I have had the wherewithal to know that?
Right, you wouldn't.
And not put that, it's like, that's the thing is that if you have two top tier quarterbacks the way I do, I can't not do it.
That's what I'm saying.
I have to put them out there because there's a possibility that they'll both go the fuck off, and then I will definitely win.
Right.
So
that's right. If Dak can stay good and consistent, then I have a solid 3 players that I can.
Yeah.
I'll be okay with. But.
Let's see. Then Miami at Detroit. Miami was a 3-point favorite. This was a good game.
Man, Tua's a good fucking player.
Yeah, Tua, man.
If he can stay healthy, they are legit.
I gotta say though, a lot of these balls that Tyreek Hill is catching, they're short.
That's all you need.
If they were ahead of him, if he could run to them and catch them,
he's throwing them short.
He's throwing them short. If they were better thrown balls, these are touchdowns. They're scoring like 50 fucking points a game.
Well, they might
and to Jalen Waddle too. Where Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are incredible at coming back to the ball and jumping up and going and getting it. Tyreek Hill's amazing at it. I don't know if we've seen somebody like him since Steve Smith Sr. or whatever. That dude was amazing at it because of his size. He had to come back and get the ball. Antonio Brown would do it really well as well, but. Tyreek Hill he had so many catches in these fucking games. I was like, oh my God. There was one where he jumped up over the defender in front of him and pulled it out from in front of him. And it was like, this little fucking guy is so good. So it's time to not just say that this cheetah is he's not just fast. He's a fucking fantastic receiver. He's a baller. And so is Jalen Waddle. Those two have more, like, they are on pace to be the most yards and receptions per tandem.
And he's on pace for like 2,000 receiving yards.
And Jalen Waddle's not far behind him. Jalen Waddle's like right behind him. So Jalen Waddle, I think they said that he's on pace for 2, and Jalen Waddle should have 1,800.
Yeah, that's insane.
Okay, so that's fucking disgusting. Yeah. 31-27. Detroit too. Like
Detroit's not. They
can't
had
get
such high hopes for them.
But their defense sucks.
Yeah, their defense
fucking sucks. And
their offense kind of sucks now too.
And Jared Goff is not the guy. They got to go draft somebody else. You can't believe that that's going to be your future. And he's just never really been the guy. Him and Carson Wentz both. They both just don't. They don't have it. So they're Jay Cutlers.
And I like the coach, but I like him personally. But is he a good coach?
Get fired.
Yeah,
he'll probably get fired. But yeah, 31-27.
And then hey, what's up with fucking Swift?
Well, I know he bounced.
Did you play him?
No. I said
he only had like 5.
But he
rushes.
scored more than Mostert. He scored more than Mostert.
Did he?
Yeah, Mostert didn't have a very good game. It definitely seemed like that they had him on a pitch count. That he wasn't getting as much because they were running Jamal Williams a lot in the red zone and stuff.
Had a lot on my bench.
Yeah, so I think that it'll happen, but it's hard for me to believe in Detroit right now. They do not look so hot. Their offense got going a little bit better though, so
they had a lead.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start him this week. They're playing Green Bay, so and then Arizona at Minnesota. But I got that right. I got the Dallas game right. I got the Miami game right. Arizona at Minnesota. I got this one right. Arizona lost 26-34. Minnesota's the real deal. Seems like they can score if they need to. Seems like their defense can hold up when they need to. I don't think they're world beaters. It's hard for me to call them best in the league, but their record tells me fuck off because they're 6-1. So
yeah, I don't think they're as good as I don't think they're as good as Philly or Dallas. I don't think they're as good as San Francisco, but they're better. They're probably the 4th best team in that.
All right, then you think I'm definitely disrespecting San Francisco here. But yeah, Arizona at Minnesota.
San Francisco's getting healthy.
Yeah, you're right. And the Christian McCaffrey trade is big. As long as he can stay like this, it's big.
But fucking D-Hop's fucking balling.
D-Hop is balling, and so
he's angry.
Yeah, but that team though,
I don't believe
is not so good, and their defense. I mean, J.J. Watt can't be your answer. I'm sorry, he had a great game, but he can't be what's going to win you football games anymore. He used to be, but he's not anymore. 26-34. Minnesota looks legit. Moving on, Vegas at New Orleans. Man, this was
what the fuck?
This was where I said, okay. Okay. I let it go.
Many people lost.
I still can't let him go. Look, I still picked him next week. I just continually pick Vegas because I want to believe that this fucking team can turn this around, and Derek Carr just sucks.
Derek Carr sucks, and I think fucking so does Josh McDaniels
sucks. And come on, this was New Orleans. This was with no Jameis and Andy Dalton playing.
No fucking what's his name?
They let
on
Alvin
defense.
Kamara run all. Yeah, nobody on defense.
What's his name? Lattimore.
Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore. This was terrible.
Kamara had
absolutely terrible.
God damn, Kamara went off.
I will say this: Vegas's offensive line is garbage, and so a lot of things can stem from that, which we're seeing with Tampa Bay and stuff like that. And their offensive line is garbage. I feel for Derek Carr because he literally is going hot. Fuck. Like the entire time.
That shit runs in the family, doesn't it?
It does.
Hey,
David. But Derek Carr has got to go.
Call your brother and be like, man, what'd you do?
If you're going to keep Josh McDaniels, you've got to give him somebody else at the quarterback because Derek Carr is not the answer. Derek Carr moves on to being a backup after this year, is my prediction. That he gets jobs, but
he'll go win you a Super Bowl as the backup.
Yeah, just like
your
David,
brother
just like your
did.
brother.
Yeah.
But they lost this game 0 to 24.
They didn't take a snap
0.
with Derek Carr on the field. Vegas didn't have a snap in New Orleans territory.
Couldn't cross the 50.
What the fuck, dude?
Pathetic.
Just give the ball to Josh Jacobs. Shut
Pathetic.
the fuck up. Let him run.
Yeah, but that's the problem is that you can't just do that. At some point, Derek Carr's gonna have to make a play, and he sucks. He sucks. And Josh McDaniels clearly can't call the plays to make it happen. We've talked enough about this pitiful ass Vegas team. They lost. They were a 2-point favorite on the road in New Orleans. So if you bet the home
can't remember
dogs
who I
there,
took,
hopefully you took the home dogs so that my bookie.
Oh, that's why we took the Jets. Because they were getting
the
points.
Jets, and it
Home
started
dogs.
off at 2.5. I think you found one for 7.5 whenever I listened to the thing
that's
back,
why.
and that's why we were like, no way.
But that would have covered.
Yeah, but it ended up only being a 2.5 point. It was only 2.5. I looked it up today. It was a 2.5 point favorite for New England. So I said the Jets were going to win the game. I thought they were going to outright win the game. I thought they were about to turn a page in Jets history. I thought they were about to say, you know what? We've been picked on by this team long enough. And the Patriots came out and said, that's very cute. This is Bill Belichick, and this is a defense by Bill Belichick, and you don't have Breece Hall, and we're going to make you beat us with Zach Wilson, and Zach Wilson's not the guy. Let me just say that. Zach Wilson, not an NFL quarterback. His arm is nice, but he makes bad decisions, and he turns the ball over too much, and I don't see it. I don't see it with Zach Wilson. So the Patriots beat him 22-17.
Yeah, disappointing.
Disappointing game for the Jets. I don't know if it makes New England legit.
Nah, both of these teams are probably not gonna.
It just brought the Jets more back to earth for me. You know, they're 5-3 now. I didn't even put them in my power rankings. I'd have them drop out of my power rankings because I just can't truly.
Breece Hall was a big loss, man.
Yeah, it was.
He's a talented, talented,
and he was
player.
leading them in a lot of ways.
Yes,
in a lot of ways. Pittsburgh at Philly. Whoo boy, Philly is legit.
But Pittsburgh sucks.
Pittsburgh sucks, but this is what you should do to shitty teams.
Yes.
This is exactly how, if you are the tip of the spear, the way Philly is trying to lead themselves right now, then when you play shitty teams like Pittsburgh at home, you should stomp them the fuck out, hit it in cruise control. I don't think Pittsburgh scored until the fourth quarter.
Well, I know Philly scored at least 4 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah.
So they must have took their foot off the gas.
Were they all 4 A.J. Brown? The 3 of them were A.J. Brown.
3 of them in
and
like
they
160
yards. They were
incredible
incredible catches.
He's a man.
Yeah, he's a man. And it really is not looking good for my Devontae Smith because he loves A.J. Brown. So
why wouldn't you?
I know. I get it.
Why
I get it. It was maybe a mistake on my part to believe in Devontae Smith as highly as I did. But, I mean, I still think in this good offensive Philly, I still could get some good games out of him. So I'm still going to
he's going to be hit or miss.
Yeah.
And fuck you for getting my Philly's defense.
Yeah. Can't believe he was out there. I was like, man, Philly's defense.
Because I kept dropping because I had them. They were on bye, and I actually picked them up and had them on my bench. And then I was like, nah, I'd rather have a running back there just to see.
They've been playing good.
Well, no, they have a fucking string. I mean, like. Philly's not going to lose. Have you looked at their schedule?
I know, their schedule's so easy.
They have this fucking cake schedule.
Houston?
Yeah,
Houston?
Bro. And so I was like, man, I'm going to get Philly's defense back. And you bid $20 on them. Get the fuck.
Well, here's the point. Here's the thing too with with where I'm at with my money now in your league was that I feel like I have enough money, and that over the next. First of all, we're pretty much going to get locked up with our teams here in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. And the next couple of weeks, there's not going to be a lot of switching out, and there's not a lot out there. So I'm like, well, fuck it. The money that I have left,
you bid just a little more than I did.
I might as well put a big number out there so I make sure I get it.
That's what I was like. I put 11 on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, nobody's going to bid more than that.
And like this week, I got to get a tight end, so I put a big number out there. And I'm so I can get.
You going after Pitts?
I might as well. Might as well.
I mean, at least he's starting to catch the ball.
But there's a few. I put a couple of, it starts with him. I've got my biggest one on him, and then I've got some other ones so that. And again, this is just for George Kittle's bye week, who's playing a lot better. We're gonna get to it. But yeah, Pittsburgh at Philly. Philly killed him 13-15. 13-35. They were an 11-point favorite at home. They easily covered. I got it right. Washington at Indianapolis. Indianapolis was a 3-point favorite at home. I don't know. This was also after the Sam Ellinger news. I don't know why that was a thing, but I was like, they're not going to win this game. And I was right. Washington won the game. Yeah. It was a close game, though. It was a very close game. Taylor Heineke doing Taylor Heineke shit, that last-second hero shit. Terry McLaurin has come to life with Taylor Heineke, and
because they'll actually throw him the ball. They're a better team with Heineke anyway.
They absolutely are. I don't give a fuck if Carson Wentz is healthy.
I don't either.
Do not go back to that. And plus, what are you really playing for? I mean, you're playing for next year anyways, so you're probably going to be looking at a new quarterback at some point. I don't know if you want to turn to a rookie that you have or Taylor Heineke, but Carson Wentz isn't the answer, so why throw him back out there?
I mean, you're winning games. They were 1-4, and I think they're 4-4 now.
Yeah, that's true.
They've won 3 in a row, and
yep. But I still don't believe in them.
No.
But, and Indianapolis sucks. I don't feel bad about my Michael Pittman trade because I just don't see it in that team. I don't see it. And
I don't think Ellinger's the answer.
No, fuck no, he's not.
Jesus,
no,
I'd rather think you'd rather have Matt Ryan out there.
And that was against Washington. Yeah. Imagine him against some of these. He's going up against New England's defense this week. Oh,
God, I'm so glad I have New England's defense now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that...
actually, you got the Texans. Philly's going to stomp out the Texans. This is going to be fucking bad.
And I'm so glad I have Miles Sanders because we cannot stop the run.
Oh, my God.
The Houston cannot stop the run. So let's go, Miles Sanders.
So Washington sucks. Indy
San Francisco at the Rams. This was a great game.
Yeah, McCaffrey's
for San Francisco.
a badass.
Yeah, man.
McCaffrey with fucking...
I think I was wrong.
Well, if he stays healthy...
I think I was wrong.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's good.
And Shanahan is a much better fucking offensive play caller and knows how to get that dude involved.
I mean, if you look at the top scorer, we might not do this in overtime. We can just briefly kind of go over it. But if you look at the top scorers for this week, it definitely makes me look like an idiot. It's like it's all running backs,
all the washed up running backs.
It's Alvin Kamara, it's Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry,
all the washed up. We were right about.
Nick
Zeke.
Chubb's on there, Dalvin Cook's in the top 15. So, yeah, we're right about Zeke. We're right about one of them. But Saquon's played really well. Christian McCaffrey's played really well.
Which is nice. It's nice to see these guys come. Somebody, I was listening to, someone said it feels like a throwback week when you look at all these top scorers.
Yeah, it's weird. But, I think that the wide receiver game is still the way to go. I think that the trick is you got to hit on some of these running backs. Like if I had gone Tony Pollard instead of Miles Sanders, I don't know if I would be in a better spot because Tony Pollard has had some good weeks. If I had got a different running back instead of Elijah Mitchell, if I had done Travis Etienne Jr. instead of Elijah Mitchell, maybe I would be in a better spot at this point.
For sure.
A lot of what ifs.
But it works out. Elijah Mitchell's coming back, but he's just not going to be used as much.
I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. I mean, I've held on to him for this long.
Well, now he's not worth much because...
And in your league, I don't have him, but I've held on to him for a long time. In my weird sadistic way, I'm just waiting for the clock to run out on Christian McCaffrey so then he gets to kind of step back into that role. But I don't know. But yeah, San Francisco at the Rams. I thought the Rams would get right in this game. I thought they would beat the 49ers, but you're right. The Rams suck.
Talk about a shitty fucking running.
Cooper Kupp goes down at the end of the game, and I had to sit there like this.
They said he's going to play.
He said he's all right, but it still makes me... That's not a good sign, tweaking your ankle and shit like that is not a good sign. So, San Francisco owns the Rams in the regular season. They've won 8 in a row from the regular season. They did lose in the playoffs in this last year, but San Francisco looks good too. I have them jumped ahead of some other teams.
They look better now, and they have a bye this week, and then apparently next week, like all these a bunch of starters that have been out are coming back.
Okay,
like they should have a pretty full squad.
Yep. But they won 31-14. I got that wrong. San Francisco was a 1.5 point favorite on the road. Giants at Seattle. This was supposed to be touted as a very good game of the week, and it was. But Seattle is fucking...
It sounds good, man.
Shit.
We got to give it up for fucking Pete Carroll, man.
Coaching them up.
Knows how to fucking coach.
Yeah, and Kenneth Walker Jr. or Kenneth Walker III.
Who knew that?
Yeah, right. Seattle... I am not going to doubt it anymore. I'm going to ride with this more so. And look, they went. I went with Seattle. I said Seattle was going to win this game.
I went with the Giants on this one. I do remember that.
And the Giants kind of turned into a pumpkin in this one. It kind of became more, okay, this is maybe the Giants team that we thought they were going to be, where they didn't run the ball very well. They have no receivers. I'll say it again.
At this point, why would you not just
receivers?
Yeah, all you got to do is try to stop Saquon, right?
Yeah, because he doesn't have anybody to throw to, it seems. So,
and they traded away to Kadarius Tony.
Yeah, that was a wild trade too. I like Seattle. I don't like them in a sense of like they're going to do well in the playoffs.
I don't
but
trust them though. Just for some reason I just don't.
I think San Francisco probably ends up winning the division.
I do too.
But I think Seattle could still make the playoffs, and I think that they're a better team than we thought.
Yep.
And I think
they're better than Atlanta.
Yeah, they're better than
who's leading.
They're better than Green Bay and Tampa Bay right now.
Yeah,
they're better than.
Obviously, they're better than the Giants.
I think that they would give Dallas a run for their money.
I bet you they'd give Minnesota a run for their money.
Yeah, they probably would. But that was a good game.
A little more respect to Seattle.
Yeah, a lot more. And the Giants too. I kind of see this being more the trend of the Giants coming up, but who knows? I think they're on a bye this week. But
have they? I don't think they've played Dallas or Philly yet, have they?
No, they lost to. Their one loss was to Philly or to Dallas. Their one loss was to one of them. It was a divisional person, but I can't remember. 17-27.
Ooh, that was close.
And Buffalo was a 10.5-point favorite, so I lost by the skin of my chin. By that half point.
Buffalo could have won this game by a lot more.
Yeah. It definitely seemed like they weren't in full attack mode.
Not in this. They just kind of
toyed with their food. Yeah. Green Bay. Let me tell you, of the two bays, of the Green Bay, Tampa Bay, I definitely think Tampa Bay has a better chance of turning things around. Green Bay does not look together at all. The best thing they got going for them is Aaron Jones, but it does not seem like they even really trust that or go to that. They have to throw the ball with Aaron Rodgers. That's who they are as a team, and they're pitiful. They're pitiful on offense. Their defense isn't much better.
Hey, Green Bay, how about you pay fucking Devontae Adams?
Yeah, right?
You dumb fucks.
Yeah. How's all this Alan Lazard working out for you?
God. He ain't even on the fucking field.
Neither is Randall Cobb. Neither is Christian Watson. He doesn't have anybody.
He got hurt again.
Yep, Christian Watson.
And their defense isn't playing. And all that money they spent, I don't know. You know what Green Bay should do? Trade Aaron Rodgers.
You get so much for him.
How could you trade him, though?
Well, I mean,
$50 million? Maybe.
Somebody do it.
Somebody would definitely
do it.
That's what I would do. Trade Aaron Rodgers.
You get a couple first round picks.
How much?
Probably some players.
He ain't playing until he's 45.
Whatever quarterback that you currently have. Let's say you call up the Raiders, and you say, "We'll give you," or the Raiders are like, "We'll give you 3 first round picks. You can have Derek Carr, and you can have whatever one other player of whatever you want."
About the 49ers.
Well. They don't have any picks.
Sure, they just gave them all away.
They don't have any first round picks. They have no picks.
How about Minnesota? You wouldn't do that if you're Minnesota.
Why not?
How about Tennessee?
Ooh, that's a good one. Tennessee.
I'm looking at your power ranking.
Tennessee definitely should give them a call.
How about Miami?
Well, no, because I think it looks better. I think it looks if Miami's offensive line could hold up for Tua a little bit better.
What if Miami traded Tua and some draft picks to Green Bay for fucking Rodgers? That would be it, because he ain't gonna be
a draft.
There ain't gonna be no short balls there.
Yeah,
he gonna be hitting them in stride and shit.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Would be cool. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah,
let Aaron go from fucking shitty ass Green Bay. Finish his last 2 years in Miami.
Oh man,
Miami could win a Super Bowl.
They would, because if he's hitting these guys, because Tyreek Hill is stopping.
That's what you're saying. Like, he's underthrowing these guys. And Rodgers ain't gonna underthrow him.
Tyreek Hill is just
catching balls and stride.
There ain't nobody in front of him, because that's not the way it works. So he's gone.
Come on, Miami, let's do this shit.
But yeah, Green Bay.
By the time this comes out, though, the trade deadline will be over.
Yeah, Green Bay's terrible though.
It's mostly my fault that we're going long.
But yeah, I'm gonna say Green Bay is in a worse position than Tampa Bay at this point. But Buffalo looks very good. If it wasn't for how good Philly was playing, I would have to put Buffalo as my number one in the power rankings. But Philly, you can't deny him at this point.
Yeah.
You can't deny him. And then we go to last night's game. I'm going to be honest. I watched it. I watched a little bit of it, but then it got a little sad for me. It got a little depressing to see Joe Burrow just not play
Somebody
well.
told me on Sunday that Cleveland told me Cleveland, or it was Lou at the bar. He's like, Cleveland's going to win that game. I was like, man, you're fucking crazy, bro. You're crazy.
Well, he's not, because they definitely did. And they beat up on Cincinnati. Cincinnati's offensive line, man, they just can't get their shit together. They can't figure it out.
They can't run the ball.
They can't run the ball.
Fucking try to run the ball.
But he's running for his life. He's getting hit left and right.
Yeah.
He can't stay upright. I mean, and now he's got no Jamar Chase, so he's counting on these other guys to get separation, and it's I
don't know. It really that was tough. It really surprised me, honestly, because they were just playing so much.
Yep,
they were playing so good.
Yep, made me have to drop them out of my top because I can't put them in a power ranking. Speaking of the power ranking,
third down.
PowerPoint. The power rankings, I said I wasn't going to do them every week because I feel like it changes. It evolves over, there's like phases of the season. But I feel like we're in that halfway point of the season. I feel like we're finally at the point where you can kind of weed out the bad teams. I think that there are teams in this that will never make my power rankings. There are I don't think Denver could get in here no matter what they do. I don't think Green Bay could get in here no matter what they do. I don't think that Jacksonville or maybe Jacksonville, but I don't think any of these teams have a chance of really turning things. Vegas, there's no way Vegas is getting in these power rankings. But I think a lot of it's going to stay the same as we go forward here, especially here at the top. I don't see these top three moving for the rest of the year. They might change places, but I don't really see them moving.
You don't see them dropping out of the top three.
No, I don't see them dropping out of the top three, and I don't see anybody surpassing them out of
Dallas, maybe. San Francisco,
so number
maybe.
one, I put Philly as number one. Obviously, with 7-0. I mean, you can't deny the way they've played, and like you said, they have a very easy schedule. I think their toughest game is week 13, or
probably when they play Dallas again.
Dallas is week 13. Yeah. So they very well could be like 12-0 by the time they get there. Buffalo, number two. Again, I've talked highly about them. I think that with Josh Allen's MVP still, I think it's him and Jalen Hurts fighting it out for MVP at this point, to be honest. Number three, Patrick Mahomes might have something to say about that by the end of the year. Kansas City's offense is still very, very incredible, and coming off a bye, they're all going to be healthy. I like Kansas City a lot still, and they're only 5-2, which some people like Minnesota have a higher ranking than them, but I definitely think Kansas City would beat Minnesota right now. I think Kansas City would beat Dallas. That's kind of how I do my power rankings. It's like who would beat who. Yeah. Number four, Dallas. I struggled with this. I know some other teams might have, Minnesota's technically got a better win-loss ratio there, and maybe some other teams might look better on paper, but Dallas's defense, I just can't get over the fact of how good Micah Parsons is. He's runaway defensive player of the year for me at this point. I don't see how he's not. He's changing the game. Yeah. That's how you know he's that good on defense. Is that?
Did you see his touchdown?
Yeah. His touchdown in this one was like, okay.
All Fields had to do was touch him.
I know. He just jumped over him.
Jumped over him.
Yeah. And that's the athletic quarterback in him that's like, I don't want to take a hit here if I don't have to. Yeah, but I guess, but it's so crazy that jump over was what caused that touchdown. But Dallas's defense is really good, and the way their offense played. If they're going to run the ball with Tony Pollard and they're going to get the ball to Dalton Schultz and CeeDee Lamb and kind of forget about these other guys, they're going to be a tough out. Another tough out is going to be Minnesota. I've got them at number 5. I don't know where they were in my last power rankings, but I know I had them in there. But they're legit. legit. I mean,
last year they lost a bunch of close games, and this year they're winning those close games. And so I guess you could say, just looking at that means that they've taken another step forward.
Yep. And they're going to win that division, I think.
They have the largest lead.
There's no way that Green Bay is going to win that division.
They're like 3.5 games behind them or some shit.
No way Green Bay turns this around. So I think Minnesota easily wins the division, which means that they'll have a home playoff game. I like Minnesota. I like the way that they're built, and Justin Jefferson is the real deal. Baltimore, I put them at number 6. I mean, could you talk me into that Tennessee could beat Baltimore? Absolutely. Could Miami beat Baltimore? Absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of these Miami did beat Baltimore. I think a lot of these teams could beat Baltimore, but with Roquan Smith coming in and the way that in their division too, I don't see Pittsburgh winning a lot of games. I don't see Cleveland winning a lot of games. I see them losing more games here with Jacoby Brissett. And now Cincinnati hasn't played well. So I think in their division, they have a pretty good chance of winning their division. And I think that's why I had to go ahead and knock them up a little bit higher. I'm not crazy about them. You know I don't love Lamar Jackson, but I'm going to put Baltimore at number 6 at 5-3. I got Seattle at 5-3. I mean, how can I put San Francisco ahead of them at this point? I get it, and then I think some of these AFC teams are better than some of these NFC teams, but Seattle's played really well. And they've got a good coach, and he's going to coach them up on defense. And in the NFC, who knows? I mean, imagine them in the playoffs with a healthy DK Metcalf and everything else. So,
well, I'll tell you when you're done.
All right. Tennessee, I got at number 8. Tennessee's been playing a lot better. I don't believe in Ryan Tannehill at all, but I do believe in Derrick Henry, and that's what they have switched back over to, where they go, okay, we're a Derrick Henry team, and we play good defense. So,
they won 5 in a row, right?
Yeah, they have. And so I think Vrabel's a good coach, and I think that in our shitty division, he strings out a bunch of wins, and they'll definitely make the playoffs. Indianapolis sucks. Jacksonville sucks. Houston sucks. He's going to easily win our division. So, Miami. I got Miami at number 9. I like Tua, and I like what's going on. They're putting up a bunch of numbers as far as offense goes. Their defense has kind of struggled. I mean, if their defense can turn things around and play a little better the way that they did at the beginning of the year, I think Miami wins a lot of these closer games because they got some dogs. And then San Francisco. I put San Francisco in at number 10. I've got them ahead of the Giants, who have a better win-loss. I've got them ahead of the Jets, who have a better win-loss. I believe the Patriots have 4-4 as well. So I've got San Francisco ahead of some other teams just because of the trajectory that it seems like they're going on with Christian McCaffrey and everything else. Their defense is getting people back. And like you said, if they come back healthy in the NFC, I think they end up turning around and winning that division. But that's my top 10.
I would I think that I'd put Miami up at 6, San Francisco at 7, and then drop the rest down.
Tennessee's
but then
10.
I think New England would beat Tennessee.
Okay.
So I'd put New England at my 10.
I'm not a big believer in New England right now just because of what's going on at quarterback. They don't really know.
But Mac Jones is going to get healthy, and he took him to the playoffs last year. There's no reason for him to go with Zappy just because he came in and won a few games. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Bill ain't doing that. He's going to stick with this guy, and as long as they can play defense.
Top five the same?
I mean, we did just talk about Seattle might be able to beat Minnesota. For some reason, Minnesota, you know what my problem with Minnesota is? Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And if he can't play in a primetime game either, right? He can't win primetime games. So,
well, other than the top 4, I think you're kind of questionable.
I think that for the most part, I mean, like, and the only thing would be the argument between Tennessee and New England, and you could have that argument.
But the quarterback is the question mark on all of those teams after the top 4, right?
Yeah.
Like in the top 4, even really the top 3, Philly, Buffalo, and Kansas City are the only ones you're kind of dead set. You're sure those quarterbacks are going to play well. I have my question marks about Dak.
San Francisco, I really think, is going to win that division. I think that they're...
Yeah.
I think they're better than Minnesota. I think they're all getting healthy, and adding Christian McCaffrey is just going to... I didn't know how much it would make a difference, but I think it's going to make a tremendous difference.
You know, I was also, as you see, because I'm putting the win-loss up there, so I was looking at their record as well,
Right, okay.
and it's hard to catapult a 4-4 team ahead of somebody else who's. It's hard to say they're better than Seattle at this point, even though Seattle's won more games than them. So I think that was maybe one of the reasons doing it. But I definitely get it. That's why I have them in my power rankings,
and we'll see.
They're on the right.
Because
the right
their
way.
defense is nasty when they're healthy.
With Bosa's out there, they're really good. They're really good. Power rankings!
4th down.
I knocked me mic over. All right, so we got a little bit of some pick'ems for next week. We talked about the high scoring of Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry. That was your top 3. AJ Brown went the fuck off. Tony Pollard, D-Hop. Deontay Foreman, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle. They were right back to back. DJ Moore, Travis Conklin, I believe is his name for the Jets. Tyler Conklin, sorry. Tyler Conklin had a great game. It has not been. This is the highest he scored all season. So
he's a tight end.
I don't think that we should be thinking that that's going to continue to happen. But shut up. Nick Chubb, Travis Etienne Jr., Dalvin Cook. A lot of running backs this week. Definitely proven me wrong. And then the top quarterbacks definitely would have blown your mind if I would have told you this was going to be the top 10 in week 9 or whatever this was. Week 8? Week 9? Week 8. It was week 8. But Jalen Hurts was at the top. Tua was number 2. Kyler, Justin Fields, Dak Prescott. Here we go. Marcus Mariota. Everyone called that. Kirk Cousins ahead of Lamar Jackson. Taylor Heineke getting in there with some Geno Smith and Jacoby Brissett.
Josh Allen's worst week.
Yep. Josh Allen wasn't in this. Tom Brady's not in there. Aaron Rodgers isn't in there. I mean, just the crazy. Russell Wilson's not in there. Crazy year. But yeah, we're getting into some more. There's a lot more bye weeks this week. There's 6 teams on a bye.
I was going to say like half my team's on a bye. I didn't even know if I was going to have a full roster, but I do.
Yeah. It's gonna be tight for a lot of teams. But we start off on Thursday with a local beatdown. It's very interesting that the Philadelphia Eagles will be playing the Houston Texans, while the Philadelphia Phillies on the other side of the world will be playing. They'll be playing in Houston, and then in Philly, the Astros will be playing the Phillies.
Yeah. So they're not going to take a day off then in between.
They are. Everything got pushed back. So
there's no game on Friday.
No game on Friday.
Damn.
Which means the Elton John show we definitely could go to. It doesn't matter. I already got my money back. Suck it. But Philly is a 13-point favorite on the road, and I don't think it's enough.
Yeah,
I honestly don't think
that doesn't even scare me a little bit.
13 is not even a big enough number. I think Philly beats Houston by a lot more than that. Houston does not look good. Davis Mills does not look good, and Philly wins this game easily.
We didn't even talk about Philly. Also got
Robert Quinn.
Robert Quinn.
Yeah, that's a huge trade. That makes them even scarier on defense. Which thank you for that.
Yeah, I'll take Philly.
Philly at Houston, easy win. Which is scary. Maybe that's a trap. Maybe watch Houston comes out and plays the game of their life. I doubt it. Chargers at Atlanta. Chargers are a 3.5-point favorite on the road. I thought about this one because I have been disrespecting Atlanta, but I think the Chargers should win this game. Should. That's why Vegas is saying this. Who Justin Herbert is and Austin Eckler and all the above. I know they have no Mike Williams, but Keenan Allen should be back. I think that they cover. I think that the Chargers win by 3.5. So
I think they should.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna take Atlanta because they play close games. They're gonna try to grind it out, and I don't think the Chargers are as good as we thought they were.
That's true. Miami at Chicago. Miami is a 5-point favorite on the road. That's a pretty big number. I actually, now thinking about it, five's a pretty big number, but I think Miami should get this done by a touchdown. I'm not crazy about Chicago. I mean, I know they just
traded away 2 of their best defensive players.
Yeah, so
it's gonna be hard to contain them.
Yeah,
it is in Chicago. We'll see about the weather.
Yeah, that's true. But I still like Miami in this.
I think Miami should cover 5.
Yeah, they should get it.
Miami.
They should get it. But should be a good game.
I mean, Chicago's playing better.
Yeah,
that's a nice thing about Chicago. At least they're being competitive.
They're competitive.
They honestly, it looked like Dallas was going to fucking blow them out, and then they fought back.
Would you rather have Justin Fields or Justin Herbert?
I mean, still got to say Herbert.
I guess. It's not.
We'll see.
It's
with
not
Fields.
Amazing.
It's not amazing.
It's not Josh Allen. It's not Patrick Mahomes. It's not,
I think
I mean, you definitely want Jalen Hurts over Justin Herbert.
A lot of people, Jalen Hurts, not Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, they've been comparing to Jalen Hurts as far as because.
Would you rather have Tua or Justin Herbert?
Ooh.
At the beginning of the year, this would have been an obvious question, but I think the way
still Herbert. Though.
I know. I think you're right.
He looks like the NFL quarterback.
I think you're right.
He's got the arm.
I think you're right.
He does seem to be.
I want
good.
Joe Burrow over Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
I want what's the other one that I was gonna
about Geno Smith?
No.
No.
No. But you made me think about it. I was gonna say Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins plays better consistently more than I've seen out of Justin Herbert.
Yeah, but at this point, you know what Kirk Cousins is, and at least Herbert still has the potential upside.
This is probably the best team that Kirk's been on.
Probably.
So we'll see. I don't know. Interesting questions.
But Kirk Cousins isn't going to get any better, right? He is what he is,
true,
right?
That's true.
Whereas Herbert, we're hoping, and there are signs that he could be in that Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
I don't think that the Chargers are as good as we thought they were, though, and I think that they're not
that's
not elite, not elite. But yeah, Miami, Chicago.
Give me Miami.
Carolina at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a 7-point favorite. This is very disrespectful to the way that Carolina just played
and the way Cincinnati just played.
I don't know how this spread got this way, but I think that's what made me do this. Now, I think Cincinnati wins the game, but I just don't think it's by 7 points. So
after what we just saw, I don't know if Cincinnati even going to win the game.
Yeah, fair enough.
Give me Carolina. Give me the points. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I think Carolina covers those points now. I think Cincinnati wins the game. I just don't think it's by 7 points.
It's kind of weird though that they give him that many points.
Yeah, it's very strange. Green Bay at Detroit, and Green Bay is a 3-point favorite on the road. I think it's mostly me hating on Green Bay, but I just don't think that Green Bay is going to win this game. And I think Detroit's going to figure it out, and they're going to get a good win, and it's going to feel good to them. And they haven't won a lot of games. They've only won one.
Detroit's defense is so bad. If
who's
Green Bay can't score against Detroit, then
yeah,
I'm still going to take Green Bay.
You're gonna take Green Bay and 3 points. Okay,
I'm giving up 3 points.
Giving up 3. All right. Well, I think Detroit can keep it close. If anything, maybe it comes down to the last second. But
it's just that both sides of the ball are playing like shit now for Detroit.
Yeah, it's true.
And Green, I don't know.
Well, Detroit's offense played a little bit better.
I think Swift and getting Ross St. Brown healthy should help. I mean, hopefully Goff pulls his head out of his ass, but
yeah,
I guess I just trust Rodgers a little bit more than Goff here.
Yeah, that's
hopefully
fair.
They can get
That's fair.
Who knows?
Indianapolis at New England. New England is a 5.5-point favorite. Now, I definitely think New England wins this game, but I don't believe that New England is a blowout type team. I think that because of Mac Jones and the inconsistency at their offense, I think that Indianapolis should be able to keep this within 5.5 points. But that's the only reason I'm doing this. I was iffy about it.
Shit. I'm going to take New England.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I definitely think New England wins this game. I just don't know if it's by 5.5
We saw New England blow out a couple teams here. Some not so good. I think when it was like Detroit and
Indianapolis is not so good. Indianapolis is not so good.
I mean, Indy couldn't score against. Well, I mean, Tennessee got a good defense.
I mean, they lost to Washington.
Oh, that's right. They lost to Washington.
Buffalo at the Jets. The only reason I did this was because of the 13 points.
Yeah.
It's a little high, and like you said, Josh Allen didn't play his best game. It kind of seems like they might be coasting through some of these games that they know they should win, kind of saving themselves.
This is a division game. That's a big number for a division.
It's a big number. It's a big number. And the Jets have been competitive. I know the Jets are very disappointed in themselves after the way they played against New England this week. So I think that the Jets keep this more competitive than 13 points.
I agree with you.
Yeah. I don't think they win the game.
I just don't like that number.
Yeah, 13 is pretty high. And I
could see a scenario where the Jets could win this game.
Maybe.
It's like a trap game.
It's a trap game. And
it's
Buffalo
a division game.
Took their foot off the gas a little bit with Green Bay. And
let's hope. I mean, this is one that I'm very interested in this one. If Buffalo should win.
Yeah.
But
Yep, and it could be a blowout. It could be where Buffalo comes in and just beats them down because Jets have been the stomping.
For that whole division.
for the everybody's just they're a welcome mat that where everybody stomps on them. Minnesota at Washington. Minnesota is a 3.5 point favorite on the road.
That's a little disrespectful.
Yeah, I think they should be higher than that. I think they win by a touchdown.
I think so too.
I don't think Washington's very good at all. So I know Taylor Heineke keeps things close, and 3.5 seems like he should be able to keep it within that. But I think Minnesota takes care of business in this one. I think they get the win.
They do play close games. I get that, but I feel like they'll win this one by like 5 or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vegas at Jacksonville. Here I am saying that I broke up with Vegas after this New Orleans game, and then I still couldn't do it just because Jacksonville. It's not so much because of Vegas. It's so much because I just think Jacksonville just wants to lose, or they just can't get out of their own way. But maybe Vegas figures it out this week. I don't know. Honestly, can I pick neither? Vegas is a 1 point favorite on the road. That is bizarre to me after what they just watched. I don't know why Jacksonville wouldn't get just a little. I would think it'd be the other way around. That Jacksonville would be a 1 point favorite at home. But I'm going to take Vegas.
It's a tough
begrudgingly.
Weird that Jacksonville's playing and doesn't get a day off after being in London.
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it?
Green Bay also didn't get a week off after, and they lost and didn't look very good coming home from London, so maybe that's got something to do with it. And fuck, dude, if Vegas doesn't play fucking better than they did last week,
Josh McDaniels could be getting fired
now. Yeah,
might as well. I mean, it is not working. It is not working.
Gotta think that Vegas bounces back here. Jacksonville. Fuck, I don't know. I'm gonna take Jacksonville.
Yep. I got Vegas. I got Vegas in this, and I begrudgingly. Seattle at Arizona. This should be a good divisional game. Arizona's a 2 point favorite at home. I have to put some respect on Seattle and Pete Carroll. I have to stop picking against them, and I'm going to pick them again. They did it for me last week with the Giants. I think they go and they beat Arizona in Arizona. Not crazy about Arizona. I don't love Kyler Murray. So I'm going to say Seattle gets this win.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle's a good team, or showing that they're a good team, and they're getting better and better.
Yep.
I do think Arizona's better now that they have D-Hop back, but give me the better team in the points.
It's only 2 points, so
but you get points.
They could win by a field goal, and I could see that being how close this game is, but I still think Seattle figures it out in the end because of the coaching.
I'll take Seattle.
Rams at Tampa Bay. Ooh, Delali. Okay, two struggling teams.
Starting the season, we were like, yeah,
this would have been great, right? But now you're like, ooh, I don't know. I am not ever going to quit Tom Brady. It could say Tom Brady versus the Buffalo Bills right now. It could say Tom Brady versus the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm going to pick Tom Brady. Now, that's because I have problems, but the truth is, in my real football mind, I do feel like Tampa Bay can win this game, mostly because Rams have not played well. They can't run the ball either. They can't get the ball to anybody but Cooper Kupp or occasionally Tyler Higbee, who got hurt and went out of this game for a little bit.
So did Cooper.
And, yeah, Cooper got hurt at the end of the game. I mean,
If Cooper Kupp doesn't play, I feel like it's not even close. But
yeah, but Tampa Bay has, I mean, and listen, where Tampa Bay struggles is in their interior offensive line. Well, there's a guy named Aaron Donald who's going to be lined up on that side, and he's going to definitely be in the backfield.
Boy, you don't like this game at all.
No.
Jesus Christ. I think in this situation, I just have to take the points because I don't know. So I'll take the Rams.
Okay. Yeah,
But I don't like it.
My other hope is that this is the beginning of the run that he's about to go on, and he's about to turn things around because of this divorce, and I hope that that's the case, but I don't know.
Both of those teams are a fucking mess.
It's going to be tough. There are only 2 3:00 games. It is Seattle and Arizona and the Rams and Tampa Bay. So Red Zone's going to be awesome because we're going to get to basically see all of those games. But yeah, Tennessee at Kansas City is the Sunday night football game. This is a good game. 12.5 points.
It's a big number,
is a
bro.
big number, and I almost circled Tennessee just because I thought that is too high of a number. I don't think Kansas City wins by that much, but then I remembered that Kansas City kind of in these AFC games, and especially against Tennessee, they have beat the fuck out of Tennessee in the past.
Yeah. You're talking about 2 teams in your top 10 power rankings, and you think it's going to be a blowout.
Because I think that the matchup is bad. If Kansas City gets up on you early, you can't become a running team. You have to throw the ball a little bit because you have to get down the field and you have to score to try to answer. And if Ryan Tannehill is not healthy, and it is Malik Willis, or even if it is Ryan Tannehill,
I didn't even think about that.
I mean that's not a good recipe there. I don't see that being a winning recipe. So I think that there's a lot of reasons that went into it, but
yeah, and honestly, I don't have Tennessee in my power rankings anyways. So
and Sunday night football,
that's a big fucking number though.
Yeah, it is. It is
big number.
I think they get it done. I think I'm going to take Kansas City with the 12.5.
I think Derrick Henry is able to run a little bit on them, making the game shorter, less points scored. I'll take the 12.5 in Tennessee.
All right. Let's see. And then Baltimore at New Orleans. Baltimore at New Orleans. Baltimore is a 3-point favorite on the road. And I went Baltimore. Not crazy about Baltimore, but I'm even less crazy about New Orleans. New Orleans, they stomped out Vegas, but who doesn't? And they have the New Orleans is so up and down, and I feel like that this is a down. I feel like with the trade for Roquan Smith, Baltimore is going to want to be coming out and firing on all cylinders and trying to really make a statement here. And I think they win this game. I don't know if it's by much more than 3 points, but I think that they win this game.
With you. I'd take Baltimore also.
Yeah. But should be a good week of football. A lot of bye teams.
A lot of interesting games, though.
Yeah.
A lot of games that were hard to pick. So
a lot of hard to pick. Even games like Green Bay and Detroit, where both are struggling, right. That's what makes it kind of hard.
Or the Rams
to pick.
and Tampa,
right.
Like, who the fuck?
Carolina at Cincinnati, which was like, oh, well, originally you would, beginning of the year, you'd say Cincinnati's going to smoke Carolina.
But then there's also games like, Chicago, Miami. I could see that going a different way. I could see Buffalo and the Jets being more competitive than I think.
Chargers and Falcons,
I mean, fuck, we don't know what the hell's going to happen with Jacksonville and Las Vegas, and although we might not want to watch it should be interesting.
Uncompetitive game of the week is coming up here on Thursday.
yeah.
That's the one that's not going to be close at all.
Thursday night games suck, don't
Hopefully, the Texans can give all their power through I don't even know. Hopefully, they can take the Astros and take the Rays. Go Stros!
Let's go Astros.
Let's go Stros. Lance McCullers, be calm tonight. You got this, buddy.
Yeah! Come on, Jordan.